Several factors are leading companies to shift their supply chains away from China and towards other countries in Southeast Asia, particularly Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand. These factors include rising labor costs in China, the ongoing trade tensions between China and the United States, and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on global supply chains. As a result, many companies are seeking to diversify their supply chain sources and reduce their reliance on China. This trend has contributed to the economic growth of Southeast Asian countries, as they have been able to attract new investment and business from companies looking to move away from China. The shift of supply chains is not only occurring in the manufacturing sector, but also in the service sector. For example, some companies are moving their research and development (R&D) operations to Southeast Asia to take advantage of the lower labor costs and more favorable business environments. This trend could have implications for the innovation and competitiveness of Southeast Asian countries, as they seek to attract and retain high-skilled workers and build up their domestic capabilities. Companies moving out of China. Under the trade war pressure, Apple has been encouraging its suppliers to move production out of China. Parts of the iPhone's production lines have been moved to India. Some MacBooks are now assembled in the US, and Vietnam has been rising as an essential hub to produce AirPods. Nike suppliers have been relocating production to Southeast Asia and Africa for a few years. The brand used to have much production in China with an estimation of 35% in 2006, but the brand has reduced its dependence on Chinese suppliers. In 2021, 51% of Nike's shoes were made in Vietnam while only 21% were made in China. HP, Dell, and other tech firms plan to reallocate up to 30% of their notebook production out of China. HP has reportedly planned to shift 30% of its Chinese production to Taiwan and Thailand to mitigate the risks of rising costs and disruptions. Vietnam has been particularly successful in attracting new investment and business from companies looking to move away from China. The country has attracted significant investment from companies in a range of industries, including textiles, electronics, and automotive. Other Southeast Asian countries that have also seen an increase in investment and business include Indonesia and Thailand. How China is fighting back to retain the supply chain. It is worth noting that the shift of supply chains away from China and towards Southeast Asia is not a straightforward process, and there are a number of challenges and uncertainties that companies and governments must navigate. These include issues such as regulatory differences, language barriers, and cultural differences. In addition, there are also concerns about the potential for geopolitical tensions and conflicts in the region, as well as the impact of natural disasters and other risks. China is capitalizing on these difficulties to retain the supply chain domination in the region. Chinese suppliers are flexible and generally more experienced in working with foreign customers. They are nimble, fast, and understand Western standards well. The availability of skilled labor in China still also outweighs other Southeast Asian countries. The business ecosystem and mature supply chain. The supply chain in China has developed for decades. Foreign companies rely much on Chinese suppliers that are located. Therefore, moving out of China means moving the entire manufacturing and network from the country, which takes a great deal of effort, time, and money. This ecosystem makes China dominant in global manufacturing. China's consumer market. Some enterprises hesitate to move from China due to its large consumer base. With a population of 1.4 billion, China remains the biggest consumer market for many products. If a company already has manufacturing in China, it is also easier getting access to the domestic market and to distribute products locally. China has realized the issue and planned a series of investment to reboot the supply chain. It is likely that the shift in supply chains away from China and towards Southeast Asia will continue in the coming years, as companies seek to diversify their sources and mitigate the risks and uncertainties associated with relying on a single source for their goods and services. This trend could have significant implications for the global economy and the balance of power in the region. However, China by all means will fight back. It is to be seen how Southeast Asian nations can compete with China in supply chain domination. Thanks for watching.